Hey everyone, welcome back. I hope you are enjoying this autistic content a little bit. But today I kind of wanted to talk about the signs of autism that I experience. Now, this varies from person to person because while everybody thinks the autism spectrum is linear and there's autism and not autistic, it's not really like that. It's more of a circle, and there are so many different pieces that fit into it, so it makes each autistic person very unique and different in their own way, which is why you don't necessarily meet a lot of autistic people that are all the same. So let's kind of dive into a little bit of what I experience and some of the signs that I have. So first I'm going to talk about sensory issues. I feel like that's a pretty big one for neurodivergent people, is feeling differently when it comes to sensory overload. So personally for me, my senses tend to pick up on sensory things very strongly and intensely. So while something might not even bother somebody else, it can deeply bother me, such as sounds. I'm a very big sound person, especially when it comes to repetitive sounds. I will lose my mind. I have a lot of sounds that I do not like. I will slightly insane when these sounds are around me and I have to hear them, and it's very overwhelming. I can pick up on sounds that normal people like my mom or my siblings, they would not pick up on, but one that is the worst for me is probably chewing sounds. My brain tends to focus in on the sounds of other people eating and drinking, and it can really send me into overwhelm and annoyance if you chew with your mouth open and I can hear the food squishing about, or if you're drinking and I can hear your freaking gulping. I'm gonna lose my mind. It's the most annoying trait of mine I think I have, is in terms of eating with people and trying to regulate while still hearing these noises. But I can hear the slightest of a hum of a fan or a clicking of something. I just hear absolutely everything, and I feel the most annoying one that I deal with is my ears. They can hear the slightest of sounds, and I think it can be really hard sometimes because other people don't hear it to the same level or degree as I do, but it really can affect me if I don't figure out how to turn that noise off, or to stop that sound, or to walk away if it's grating on my nerves, you know what I mean? Second things, I'm very sensitive to light. I have the most sensitive eyes I think ever. I feel like I'm always having to wear sunglasses. Lighting really affects me. I tend to have the same lights on in my house. I don't like certain lights. I'm just very particular when it comes to lighting and how it affects my eyes, and I don't like anything directly, in my eyeball. It drives me insane. But also bright colors. I do not really like loud, bright colors. Those are not, as you can see, I'm literally all in black. I tend to wear a lot of black and neutral colors. Some of the colors in here are okay because they're very muted and very neutral, these colors. They're not bright, in your face, overpowering colors. I don't care for that. Those really stress me out, and thinking of them being in my home as my safe haven, I don't want to see that at all. It's too overwhelming, too overpowering. I want very calm, neutral colors in my house. Not only that, my house is very plain. I'm not going to lie. I don't have the decorating gene, but I also don't like a lot of things. When there's a lot of things everywhere, I just want to lose my mind. If I have a lot of things, I tend to shove them in a drawer and shut them and kind of like pretend that they don't exist, because when I'm out looking about through my house, I cannot handle seeing just crap everywhere, like stuff everywhere. It stresses me out so bad. If you have like a wall of like 20 freaking billion pictures, like what is going on? Or you have like 20 bazillion trinkets like it's so much stuff. I just like minimal, very minimal, as to not overpower my visual senses. Another thing that I didn't realize that was like a visual sensory was catching motion. I feel like my eyes can like see any little movement whatsoever. I don't even like mean it, but I'll be with my mom sometimes. I'm like, oh, did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see that? And she does not see anything. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. But I feel like whenever I'm with my mom, it's always the same stuff. It's like, did you hear that? Did you see that? Did you hear that? Did you see that? Do you smell that? And none of it. She doesn't smell, hear, see, none of it. And that is just one of those things where I just think, well, yeah, everything in me is just super, super heightened. Another one of mine that's very annoying is smells. I feel like my nose is like one of those sniffer dogs. Like my nose can pick up literally any smell. I tend to not be able to even like handle going into stores with a lot of freaking fragrances, especially if they're like low quality scents, like a Bath and Body Works or like those Victoria's Secret little sprays. I feel like I get a headache immediately having to smell those smells. I hate them. I don't like vanilla smells. I don't like really sickly sweet smells. If somebody walks near me with a strong perfume that I don't like I don't even feel like I can be around them. Like I need to maneuver my way around. So smells can also be a very big deal for me. One thing about me that I don't have too much of is like touch sensory. I'm not super stressed about types of clothing. I don't like super scratchy things. I think that would be the only thing that I don't care for. Tags have never really bothered me. Tight clothing within reason doesn't necessarily bother me, but I feel like if it's a rougher texture, I tend to not want to go for that. Like jeans, I'm not the biggest on jeans. Like I will wear them, but I will only wear them for a short period of time. Like the minute I come home, I'm gonna change them. So if I'm going out with the girls or shopping or like little errands, I might put on a cute pair of shorts or something, but I know the minute I get home, them things are coming off. But there are a lot of people out there who have very strong feelings towards feeling. They don't like certain textures of clothes, they don't like the tags, the seams and the socks. Like there's a lot of things that really can irritate them. I would say that that one is probably more on the lower end for me. While it can irritate me and I'll take it off right away, I'm able to kind of push through it a little bit more than, let's say, something ear-wise. I think that is probably my number one, and my nose would be number two. Like those two are probably up there on the ones that can cause me to really lose my mind. But that is one big sign of autism, of course, is, you know, sensory differences, heightened sensory things. And I just wanted to kind of chit chat about that and what I feel, like how I kind of go in kind of my signs and symptoms in that category. I'm gonna do a couple more talking about other signs and symptoms that I deal with as well, and kind of go in a little bit so you can kind of understand them a little bit. So like I said, you might resonate exactly some of the same as I do with some of these sensory things, or you might have completely different ones than me. That's why every autistic person is so different. We're all different and we all experience our sensitivity levels different, which I think is so interesting when talking to other people who also are autistic, and kind of just seeing what it's like to be them and how things affect them differently than it would affect me. I just find it so interesting. So I'd love to hear down below if you're diagnosed with autism or ADHD and you deal with sensory issues, like what are some of the things that really affect you? Like what really sets you off? So stay tuned for part 2, and I will go over another sign of autism, routine, and what routine can be like. So I hope you enjoyed this little mini deep dive into sensory things. Thank you so much for watching, guys.